After Christy Mack would pick up an XBiz award in 2015 for Best New Starlet.
And of course, thanks everyone for liking my boat hole and whatnot. It's kind of pleasant. Thank you.
After Christy Mack would star in over 100 adult films including The Dark Knight, porn parody, Inked Angels, and Hot Body Inc.
Niggas told me, get your paper up. You work hard for what you got, they can never take it from you.
After Christy Mack was violently attacked and beaten near death by her ex-boyfriend John War Machine Copenhaver.
For the first hit, I just remember him charging at me. I could taste the blood in my mouth.
After YouTuber Michael McCrudden would document War Machine's flight, the manhunt, and his capture on a channel known as IO Trends, Dog the Bounty Hunter has made good on his word that he would hunt down War Machine, aka John Copenhaver, for the vicious assault on adult film star Christy Mack. The hunt has begun, and the whole thing is playing out on Twitter. My name is Michael McCrudden, this is IO Trends. We have the full scoop and the up-to-the-minute tweets, so let's jump right into things. Christy Mack is an adult performer and starlet who always stood out from the pack with her mohawk-inspired hairdo and head-to-toe tattoos. By the age of 21, she learned to capitalize on her unique look and had become one of the biggest names in the industry. It was at a Hustler photo shoot when she first crossed paths with MMA fighter War Machine. Yeah, that's the guy's legal name. A romance was jump-started between the two, one that soon turned into domestic abuse, and in the end it almost cost Christy Mack her life.
At that point, I felt like I was going to die.
After a lengthy recovery process and multiple surgeries, I'm happy to report that Christy Mack is putting her life back together. She looks fantastic, she's got a new man, she's promoting various charities and causes, but will she return to a career in porn? You'll have to watch the full video to find out. What's going on, guys? My name is Michael McCrudden, documenting the life and career of Christy Mack after her time at the height of her fame, here for you on After They Were Famous. Now in this series I've also done videos on Lindsay Lohan, Macaulay Culkin, and old creepo Bill Cosby. Be sure to check those videos out, but for now, let's roll that intro. Christy Mack was born on May 9th, 1991 in South Chicago Heights, Illinois. She got her first tattoo at the age of 15 and her first job in high school was holding a sign in a gorilla costume. Locked in at 19 to a future as a stay-at-home wife living in Edinboro, Indiana, population 5,000, it was her tattoo modeling pics that opened doors for Christy to build a name and career for herself, so at the age of 21 she decided to make the move to Miami. Now it didn't take long for her modeling career to blossom into a porn career, and within her first year she racked up as many as 14 credits on IMDb in such classics as Tits to Die For Part 2, Party of 3 Part 4, Hall Pass Ass, GF Revenge Part 7, but it was her role in the big budgeted porn parody The Dark Knight XXX that really put her on the map.
Soon you will feel the fire of 12 million souls you failed. We get it.
You know I'm good at it. I do the alphabet.
By 2013, Christy Mack was a bona fide star collecting nominations and taking home awards. That same year, she fell in love with MMA fighter War Machine, a relationship that started off on rocky grounds.
War Machine, he used to tweet you all the time, right? Is that how you two came to be?
No, actually it's not. He was stalking me and I didn't want any part of it.
At the time, War Machine was being moved around the UFC and other MMA organizations and was apparently toying with the idea of doing porn himself. He had also served time in prison and was on probation for a number of charges, including a bar fight where he went after both a man and a woman. Now this is something Christy wouldn't come to know till much later. Plus the two were really busy falling in love with one another. Following that photo shoot in which they met, well, this happened.
He was like, I know you're not feeling well, maybe I can come over later. And I'm like, we're not having sex, but I'll order pizza.
Yeah, any woman who brings up pizza, they've got me hooked. And if they look like her, even better. The two, they fell in love fast, and Christy, who is clearly a fan of tattoos, she opted for a property of War Machine tattoo on her shoulder. She was soon spotted ringside as her man fought in Vegas, but after 4 or 5 months into the relationship, his aggression was turned from his opponents onto her. The first time Christy thought it would never happen again, but that certainly wasn't the case. Due to War Machine's dislike of her work, she stopped doing porn, but nothing she could do would curb his temper. Throughout 2014, they were on and off again, and officially off. But War Machine, he still possessed the key to her home.
I could taste the blood in my mouth.
On August 8, 2014, War Machine burst into Christy's Las Vegas home and first attacked her friend Corey Thomas and then turned on her. She had previously described the events of this horrific night in an interview with HBO's Real Sports.
I couldn't catch my breath. I started convulsing. At that point, I felt like I was going to die.
War Machine had not only beaten Christy to a pulp, he attempted to rape her and then used a knife to cut off all of her hair. He disappeared elsewhere in the house, allowing Christy just enough time to crawl to her neighbors, naked, bleeding, hysterical, where she screamed at their door. They didn't let her in, but they did phone the police. War Machine then fled and a manhunt was launched to get him into custody. Dog the Bounty Hunter even joined the cause. After days of the man evading arrest and taunting Christy with delusional tweets of him being the actual victim of this attack, well, thankfully he was finally captured, and while in prison, well, he attempted to take his own life.
Boy, that escalated quickly.
Now, as Christy laid in the hospital near death, she heard word that there were all sorts of rumors circulating the web, even some people going as far as to slut-shame the poor woman. To respond to all this, she decided to release photos of the state that she was in, and those spread across the traditional and new media landscapes. People were looking at these photos around the world. Christy had a long road to recovery ahead of her. Her liver had been ruptured from punches and kicks to the body. The liver injury was so bad that doctors opted not to operate on her face because they were worried she couldn't handle being put under anesthesia.
At one point, he had kicked me so hard in my side that it ruptured my liver.
She had 18 broken bones, a broken nose, multiple missing and broken teeth, also a fractured rib. Now, it took a long time and a whole lot of courage and strength for Christy to pull through, but eventually she was out again making public appearances.
I was in a lot of pain at first, but now I'm feeling really good.
Christy soon announced that she would be retiring from work in the adult industry, at least for now. Instead, she would focus on her health and the various charities she supports, including Breaking the Silence, where she speaks out against domestic abuse.
I accept the Blow the Whistle challenge because I stand for the 1 in 4. I challenge every single one of my friends and followers. Accept the challenge by buying your whistle and making a donation at breakthesilencedv.org.
On top of all this, Christy has released Macmoji, a series of personalized emojis featuring images of women with black eyes and busted lips in order to bring attention to fellow victims. There are also some hot as hell Christy Mack stylized emojis, of course, and a portion of every app downloaded will be donated to Break the Silence Foundation. I will leave a link for all that down below. Now, this is pretty remarkable stuff, but on top of this, Christy has also had the courage to attend a pre-trial where she publicly stated the history of violence she experienced at the hand of her ex-boyfriend War Machine.
And I tried to jump out of the car. And he pulled me back in by my hair. And he slammed my head down on the dashboard.
His response was to smile and laugh at her, which the judge took note of publicly. His trial has been pushed to September of 2016, where he could face a sentence of life in prison. Christy states that she will be there to testify. As for her fans who want to know what she has planned for the future, well, Christy will continue to make personal appearances, and she has even started feature dancing, aka stripping for her fans. But don't get too excited, she's already got a new boyfriend, and he looks tough as nails. As for the rest of the story, well, we'll have to wait and see, because this is After They're Famous. My name is Mike McCrud, thanks for checking out my personal channel. We do all sorts of celebrity bios on here. We have done a Before They're Famous on Christy Mack, and then a Before They're Famous updated. We've talked about a whole bunch of porn stars, practically almost all the girls in the biz. Nikki Benz, that's one of my favorites. As a Kira, that did really well. Lisa Ann, of course. And if you're subscribed to this channel, it probably has something to do with Mia Khalifa, because that video went viral. Anyway, guys, be sure to check out her other stuff. Let me know who you want to hear about next, and I'll see you guys in another video.